स्टडी IQ IAS, आपका सिलेक्शन हमारा मिशन।
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Anamta Rizvi with another lecture about Look Back in Anger by John Osborne. So in my last two lectures, I talked about T.S. Eliot and W.B. Yeats, these Nobel Prize winners who made a niche for themselves by talking about the modern reality, by the atmosphere of the times when First World War and Second World War had gripped the entire Europe. So now in this lecture, in John Osborne's Look Back in Anger, we will be talking about the post-World War effects. What was a time when this war ended? Do you think that everything just switched on to being happy? Something joyful? Not at all. In fact, the repercussions of this war were worst once the Second World War ended in 1945. So we have this director, that is John Osborne, who wrote about this play, that what was the condition of the people of that time, of what exactly Britain thought during that time, the economic crisis, the lack of opportunities. There was an intellectual class, there were middle class who were educated, but there was no economic support to them. So today we will be discussing about that in our class. This text is very much in your UPSC English Literature optional subject. So all my students who are interested in this course, make sure that you do attend this lecture. Now the crammed attic, the reality of post-war Britain. So now I'll make you imagine something. Just imagine a bleak, a very small claustrophobic attic room. एक छोटा सा कमरा है and वहाँ पे सब लोग रह रहे हैं कि attic room जैसा है in the English Midlands, filled with the smell of cheap tobacco, ironing steam and simmering domestic frustration. Domestic frustration है बहुत ज़्यादा. एक छोटा सा कमरा है, वहाँ पे कपल रह रहा है उसके दोस्त के साथ. That is John Osborne's setting of Look Back in Anger. John Osborne uses this suffocating setting to anchor his play in the harsh, unromantic reality of post-World War II Britain. So post-World War के बाद things were terrible, extremely bad, and this is like एक वो सीन दिखा रहा है कि किस तरह से लोग वहां पे रह रहे थे. Entirely rejecting the polite upper class theatrical tradition of his time. जिस टाइम पे जॉन ऑसबर्न लिखा था, things were staged in a very different manner. एक बहुत ही अच्छा सा इंग्लिश रूम दिखाते थे, very neat and clean. So this was an absolutely revolutionary play which also gave the term Look Back in Anger. ओके, सो ये जो लुक बैक इन एंगर का प्ले है वो वहीं से आए जहां से इसने एंग्री यंग मैन का टर्म दिया है. सो लुक बैक इन एंगर कम्स फ्रॉम दिस the terminology that ran after Look Back in Anger came, and that is an angry young man. This crammed space serves as a perfect microcosm for a disillusioned nation that won the war but lost its empire, leaving its citizens trapped in a grey, stagnant economic landscape. So क्या दुनिया थी? England was completely stagnant. Economic crises were huge. People hardly had any government jobs. There were no job opportunities. जो पढ़े लिखे लोग थे, they were living a deplorable life. And that is when John Osborne wrote about this play, Look Back in Anger. Now, voice of a generation. Jimmy Potter जो इसका हीरो है, he was loved by a lot of people. And what was the reason? Just a second, guys. So he was loved. Why? Because he became the voice of a lot of voiceless people. People related with Jimmy Potter, the character, because they said that, yes, this is me. This is Jimmy Potter is me. So when Jimmy Potter burst onto the stage, so he does not enter, he bursts onto the stage with anger. There's fury within him. So when he enters the stage, he introduces a brand new archetype to English literature, the working class intellectual fueled by raw, explosive rage. A rage which had been installed with them, the rage because that government was responsible for their deplorable, miserable life, and that is the reason that they were filled with rage. And Jimmy Potter was the one who represented that working class. Jimmy is very educated. He has got the right degrees, everything, but there is no job for him. He is highly educated but completely locked out of the traditional British establishment, and he's forced to run a mundane sweet stall just to survive. So the British establishment, nobody wants Jimmy to rise also. The government has saved all those upper authorities के जो positions होते हैं to to the leaders, to the sons of those leaders, or that is how the corrupt system is, wherein the right people do not get the opportunities. So where he is highly educated but completely locked out of the tradition British establishment. Because he does not have a very robust background. There's nobody, there's no support, there's no, you can say, Uncle Sam, or there's no one to support him. So his relentless biting monologue are just personal tantrums. They are desperate, they are unfiltered cries of an entire generation of young men who felt utterly abandoned by the society that they were told to fight for. So Jimmy Potter went out of his way. He got the education, he got the degree to enter the system, but he was never allowed to be a part. There were hardly any opportunities for working class. The class war at home. अब जिमी जब बाहर नहीं जीत सकता था तो उसको लगता था मेरी मैस्कुलिनिटी कैसे मैं उसको बचाऊं. वो अंदर लड़ता था. डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस होता था. अब अपनी जो वाइफ है एलिसन है उसको हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ किसी ना किसी तरीके से हमेशा उसको डिमीन करता था. Why? Because Allison belonged to upper class. So the core relationship between Jimmy and his upper middle class wife Allison represents a brutal unresolved class warfare tearing post-war Britain apart. And this is how that एक middle class, एक working class था, middle class that was striving to lead a life, a normal life, एंड एक अपर क्लास है जिसके पास सारे प्रिविलेजेस थे. तो एलिसन और जिमी पॉटर दो अलग अलग इन क्लासेस से बिलोंग करते थे. एलिसन फ्रॉम द अपर क्लास, द वाइफ फ्रॉम द अपर क्लास, एंड जिमी फ्रॉम द लोअर क्लास. जिमी व्यूज एलिसन नॉट जस्ट एज अ स्पाउस बट एज अ हॉस्टेज फ्रॉम द प्रिविलेज एलीट. तो वो एलिसन को ऐसा नहीं सोचता था कि वो बस मेरा स्पाउस है. वो कहता कि अच्छा है मैंने इसको शादी की, अच्छा है मैंने इसको सफ़र कराया, इसको मिजरेबल बनाया, इसको इस तरह की जिंदगी जी रही है ये. क्योंकि उसे तो कभी दुख दर्द देखा ही नहीं है. तो उसको एक हॉस्टेज बना के जाता, उसको एक उसको खुशी मिलती थी उसकी सफरिंग से. टर्निंग देयर मैरिज इनटू अ साइकोलॉजिकल बैटलफील्ड वेयर ही रूटीनली पनिश्ड हर फॉर हर फैमिली स्टेटस. तो उसको पनिश करते थे, यू बिलोंग टू अपर क्लास, यू डिजर्व दिस. तो उसको इस तरह अब्यूज करता था वो. Through that destructive domestic dynamic, Osborne shows that despite political promises of equality, the deep-seated British class system remained as toxic and divisive as ever. So Britain ने बहुत promises किए थे. Post World War, there were a lot of promises that there would be harmony, there would be peace, there would be opportunities. The class systems will not be as rigid as they were, and everybody will be living a good, a prestigious life, a good life, like a normal, respectable life. But nothing was there for the working class, middle class people. Now, nostalgia versus reality, the ghost of the British Empire. A massive source of Jimmy's underlying anger stems from the suffocating presence of the past, epitomized by Allison's father, Colonel Redfern. Now, he also had a very huge problem with Colonel Redfern, Allison के father. उसको होता था कि this, because Colonel Redfern from a very privileged class, from the upper class, he had a problem that because of these people, we are not given enough opportunities. So the Colonel represents the fading nostalgic dream of the British Raj and an elegant, ordered Edwardian past that Jimmy mocks yet secretly envies for having clear causes to believe in. Jimmy famously laments the fact that there are not any good, there's no any brave causes left, capturing the profound existential vacuum that's felt by youth living in the shadow of a dying empire. So Jimmy is, when Jimmy says, ये वाली बात जब Jimmy बोलता है ना, that there are not any good brave causes left, that so it signals a very miserable, deplorable life, a life wherein they are gripped with all the kind of lack of opportunities, misery, sorrow, जहाँ कि उनका future doomed है. There's nothing that they're looking forward to in life. So now, challenging the establishment, the complacency of the elite, Osborne delivers a scathing critique of the British cultural and political establishment, and he portrays as completely detached, numb and dangerously complacent. वो बताता है कि जॉन ऑसबर्न के जो जिमी पॉटर का ग्रीफ है, जो रेज है, जो एक दुख है, दर्द है, इट इज नथिंग टू डू विद हिम बट द एंटायर ब्रिटिश एस्टैब्लिशमेंट, बिकॉज दे आर द वंस रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द अपलिफ्टमेंट ऑफ द सोसाइटी, एंड दीज पीपल who really want to do something in life, they are devoid of any opportunities. So characters like Allison's brother Nigel, they are described by Jimmy as platitide in the ally politicians, men who possess immense systematic power but lack any real human passion, empathy or vision. So compared to Jimmy Potter, there is this another person, Nigel, who basically, who gets all the opportunities. Why? Because he's the son of Colonel Redfern. he belongs to a privileged class. उसके पास नाइजल के पास ना कोई passion है, ना उसके पास कोई vision है, as compared to Jimmy Potter, who is so passionate about life, about looking at things from a different perspective. He's so learned. But no, he's not given the opportunity vis-a-vis Nigel, who is a product of nepotism. So the play violently shakes the audience out of its comfort zone, exposes a society that prefers polite manners, superficial comfort over facing the mass structural failures. So this was a massive structural failures post-World War British. This is the reason that Britain really suffered a lot in the Second World War, because the entire civilization, the masses, the London people, they were really in great misery post Second World War because of the economic crisis. The bears and squirrel escapism and emotional paralysis. तो यहाँ पे when you will read the play, you will understand this metaphor, जहाँ पे game खेलते हैं bears and squirrels का. Okay, wherein he becomes a bear and this little that Jimmy Potter is a bear and Alison becomes a squirrel, and they're just running around the attic room in a very childish manner. So what does that talk about? So when the intellectual vitriol becomes too heavy to bear, Jimmy and Alison, they behave just like children. They get into this play of a bear and squirrel. This bizarre affection ritual is their only escape from the crushing weight of the social reality, allows them to love each other without the interference of any class identity or any politics. Okay, so they get into this game, this bizarre game that gives them that that kind of an atmosphere जहाँ पे ना कोई class है, ना कोई tension है. So this is a very weird, bizarre thing that they get into just to get rid of all the crisis, the tension, the misery that they're going through. Ultimately, this game exposes the profound emotional paralysis of the era, a world that is very hostile. It's broken, that the only way to find genuine human connection is to step out of reality. So it is when they're not in this real world, when they're out of reality, that they find some solace, some love. जब उनको रियलिटीज फेस करते हैं, जब क्राइसिस, इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस आती है, then the life is normal. But in that time, when they behave like a bear and squirrel, that is a time when they get into this artificial world to escape the difficult realities of their lives. So guys, ये John Osborne का Look Back in Anger is a very important play. It's there in your UPSC English Literature option subject. This was again a very small part that I discussed. There are many themes that need to be explored, that need to be taken care of when you're studying this play. In my classes, every day I have my class at 1 p.m. and I of course take this entire text scene by scene, act by act. Every scene is discussed, every act is discussed, analyzed, the previous questions, the expected questions, all the thematic concerns, the motives, whatever, the symbolism, whatever is there in the play is discussed with great detail. And every day I have my class at 1 p.m. 13 July, guys, mark this date in your calendars because that's a brand new batch which we are starting. So you will be going ahead with a very brand new text that we would be going ahead with. So make sure that you're part of it. And if you want to contact us, there's description box is there in the comment section. You can go for it. You can call us. You can contact us. If you want to have a look at my demo classes, then they are there. You can connect with me as well if you want. And whatever concerns you are, what you can just ask the team and they will resolve it. So if you're really interested, be a part of the classes and succeed in your journey of becoming a UPSC civil servant. So I hope to see you all in the classes.
Study IQ IAS, आपका सिलेक्शन हमारा मिशन.